Okay, the proper way to do this, or the easiest way, is to get 2 helpers on each side of the handcart frame or the chassis and roll the assembly up underneath in this manner. Now remember, I told you earlier about the flange having to be up, and always watch your fingers in case somebody drops that on you. You want to be safe. These blocks, okay, why don't you come around, and then Scott, you can come down underneath. Still have somebody supporting the handle, and this person's going to help us a lot by raising or lowering the handle to get us into position.
You're probably going to need this. I know, but I'll be blocking you out.
Okay.
Let me just get down here. Right?
Okay. This is fun. Hopefully you're going to have your families putting these together.
You got all the bolts?
Okay. I got them over by your side right there. So you look at these blocks. There's 13, H, and there's an arrow. They're getting faded. Frame 13, H, and on these blocks the lettering, because it's looked bad on the outside, goes to the inside and the arrow points to the handle. So this block is actually going to sit here. We actually have a lift kit for our hand carts, okay, so the wheels appear to be taller. You're going to take one of these bolts, put it on top of the flange, and stick the bolt through the top flange just to the edge. Stick out just a little bit. And you're going to slowly slide that up to the hole. And by tilting the frame, you can get it set. Watch it, right? You want to be very careful threading these in because there are nuts on the other side that are hidden. And we don't want to strip the threads. Always keep your fingers free so they don't get squished. You should be able to hand tighten these in quite a ways. If something is not going in right, stop and see what's going on and making sure you have the right components. So I've got this almost hand tight all the way. No washers go under here, it's not needed. And using your 9/16 wrench, you're going to tighten, not very tight, just snug, okay? You can't over tighten these and strip out the components. You don't want to do that. Just get them snug. That's all you need. Now, keeping my hardware safe, what now works easy is you help your friend. Go ahead and lower that handcart down. Now we're going to keep all of our components to the handcart. It's easiest to keep it on top. Okay, so we're working on handcart number 13. So we have the chassis, we just put the wheels on. Now we need to put the sides on. Remember I was telling you, 13, make sure you always have the right pieces. There's 13A, there's an arrow, 13B, arrow, 13C, arrow, 13D, arrow. We're going to show you where those go. So it's usually better if you start with the front. And this is 13A, and see the arrow? I said earlier, in the position on the handcart, the arrow is always going to be pointing forward. So sometimes you can just grab this and go like this. Arrow's pointing forward. And we're going to show you where 13A goes. See down on the chassis, 13A. We got 13A here, and the arrow is forward. So that's the position to go. Have somebody support that while we get some hardware. And the hardware for these is the medium length ones, not the little short ones. It has to be, it's the medium length one, okay? This one right here, just for reference, right there. And you'll just put the 2 inner ones in place. And there's little inserts in here, and they're brass, so you have to be careful. Make sure you're in the right position, and they should be going in finger easy for a while. So we're okay. We'll leave that loose right now, because we got to slide some pieces under here. So if we look over here, A, 13B, 13C, and 13D. So let's take a 13B right here, 13B, 13B. And the arrow is going forward, so it goes this way. Now what you'll do is set it on top of the chassis, and see this tab here? You want to slide under here and here. So these fit underneath. You see how that goes? Under like that. You need the medium length. Go ahead and put one in the corner. And they're doing the same thing on the other side if you have a good coordinated team. Just get it down finger tight. You can add some more along here. Make sure you line up with your holes. You don't want to tighten anything up until all your fasteners are down. Okay, 13D. Arrow is pointing forward this way. Let me get that way. 13D, so arrow forward. See, I got my fingers. Comes in over here. Go ahead. And you want to get ones in the corner. Always support these things. You don't want them falling over and breaking. Remember I said these are the weak points on here until we get them all bolted up. Go ahead, Darren. And you may have to move things around a little bit. Okay, I got the other one. Oh, there's more in this pack. Okay, two. Wow. Okay, so one just. Oh, was this a spare pack? Okay, so there's only 4 fasteners. Remember I told you earlier that are the very short ones. These right here. These short ones will probably be marked, but it must be the short ones or this will not go together correctly. So I'm going to show you how to do one here. It goes down through the top in the corner, and then the nut goes from underneath. Like so. Oops. The nut goes on underneath. Finger tight. And we're going to put all 4 of these on every corner. You can show one of them if you want. Bolt down from the top, nut from underneath. Finger tight. Okay, we got them all in. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to tighten the bottoms first. And it's usually good if you have an assistant to push everything together and have someone on that side push the bottoms together. You want to push in this direction to make these joints tight. So you hold that there. Using a 5mm Allen wrench. You want to tighten these down. Again, not real tight, just snug. Those are brass inserts in the wood. So just a little bit, just so it's snug, that's all you need. Then we're going to get the 4 corner. Okay, we'll do that one in a second. So let's get the bottoms. So come over here. So you can push in at the bottoms. Make sure someone's pushing in alignment here. Tighten. We want to get all the 4 corners on the bottom first. There, and we're tight up there. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we can get the 4 corners at the top. And you need 2 wrenches for this. We have one more wrench. Okay. So you want to put 1 Allen wrench on the bottom T-nut, the top. Darian, come over here, would you? And we're going to have him pull in and together on both of these. Oop. That's why there's red on here. If you drop it in the grass, you can see it easier. Again, we just want to go snug. We don't want it to come apart, but not real tight. If you use the wrong size bolt here, what will happen is it binds up and it will seize the nut and the bolt, and we don't want that, so you have to use the shorter one. Okay, now you can go around, and then we can, after we tighten all the 4 corners, then we'll tighten all the bolts at the bottom and then check everything that they're secure.